Look, it's a learning process. I mean, he's not really captained at this level. He's never captained at this level before. Look, he's 21 years of age. He's learning how to do the job. He knows that he's got Jos Buttler alongside him. I tried looking at him and for him a number of times. He wasn't really asking Jos Buttler extended conversations about what to do next, or Adil Rashid, or Sam Curran. He did it his way, and I felt that was a good sign.
Let's talk about what Ireland and England need to do going forward. 196 on the board, target of 197, but Ireland missing their opening bowlers, Josh Little and Mark Adair not here. That is a big miss, but maybe an opportunity for the likes of Barry McCarthy again.
Yeah, Paul Stirling said this, didn't he? He said, look, this is a chance for other bowlers to step in. When you've got bowlers like Mark Adair and Josh Little not in the side, you know, you've got others who've got to step up. It's going to be a very, very tough ask. I thought England held the, likes of Will Jacks out in the field. By the way, just watching some of these wickets here. You know, Jamie Overton gets Lorcan and Tucker out eventually, but I just feel that 197. Look, England have got to go well here. Yeah. You saw what Phil Salt did 5 nights ago at Old Trafford. 141 not out from 60 balls, just ridiculous. So they've got the firepower, but Ireland have got the runs on the board. 196 on the board. Terrific partnership, Tector and Tucker, after the start from Stirling and Ross Adair.
A glorious start, 3 wickets to 4. Tector and Dockrell not out. Dockrell with a 6 off the final ball of the innings. Wood went wicketless today, 24 from his 3 wickets there for Overton. Penultimate delivery of the innings. Dawson and Rashid in with the wickets as well. The 2 spin bowlers, Ahmed as well, 0 for 9 from his 1. Sam Curran, uncharacteristically, going at nearly 11 and over. He's a player with that X factor, with bat and ball.
He was the player of the tournament in the ICC T20 World Cup in 2022 down in Melbourne. He took 3 for 12 in that final. He was the player of the year that year, and it's only 3 years hence. So look, Sam Curran's got it all. He can do it. Last year he scored his first T20 century for Surrey as well. That was against Hampshire. So look, he can do it with the bat. England bat, as you heard Adil Rashid saying there, England bat all the way down.
They do,
don't they?
Their proper bat is still number 7, and certainly the likes of Overton can bat a bit as well.
I mean, yeah. Look, Adil Rashid's got 10 first-class centuries. So look, it's going to be a tough chase, but Ireland, they got to think that they've got the runs on the board. They can defend it.
Target of 197 for England. That'll be up shortly. Well, innings break is just about done. England are about to come out and reply and chase down, or attempt to chase down, the target of 197 that Ireland have posted. I can tell you that Phil Salt, though, is going to be at the top of the order for this England side. And Alan Wilkins, I mean, we were all absolutely in awe at watching Phil Salt against South Africa the other night. I mean, the likes of Rabada, Janssen up front, and he just took the attack to some of the best bowlers in the world.
Tormented them, didn't he? He absolutely did. Rabada went for 70. Kahiso Rabada went for 70. So Phil Salt, with his fourth T20 International 100, he's got 3 of them in the West Indies. And here he is. He is prolific. He is so dominant that if Ireland don't get him out cheaply, this match might not go 16 overs. But Phil Salt can tear any attack apart. And on this ground, you would say that when you look at that wagon wheel there, where he hits, he hits everywhere. So you've got Salt, you've got Bethel, you've got Banton, you've got Butler, you've got Rayan Ahmed, who might bat 4. England have got the firepower. The pressure is very much on Ireland's bowlers.
It certainly is. Ireland are going to be up against it when you consider that the likes of Mark Adair and Mark Adair in particular is missing, and Josh Little in this case is out of the series. Well, let's go to commentary. Andrew Leonard and Isabel Joyce standing by to take you through the reply.
Well, many thanks to both Alan Wilkins and indeed Dwayne Delocca as well. Here come the umpires. Ireland will be really pleased with their first innings effort. They posted 196 for 3. It's their highest ever against England in any T20 international. There's also some good news because it's the second highest score they've ever made here at this ground. Maybe the bad omen, though, when they made 221 for 5 against India back here 3 years ago in June 2022. It was 4 runs too shy. But will 196 be enough? Paul Stirling, I think, certainly would have taken that if he was offered it without having to go out and bat. But England's batting, well, it's awesome, it's fearsome, it's quite phenomenal, to say the least. We are certainly in for a really, really good contest, I would imagine. I've got Isabel Joyce alongside me. Izzy, Ireland must be pretty pleased with that 196 on the board.
Yeah, and remember, they've never lost in T20 internationals against England. They've only played them once, but completed the games once. There's a washout as well. I'm
looking at a played 2, lost none factor. Statistically, factually, all the way. And how it would blow this series open. There was more than a few Irish bowlers who were watching almost from behind the sofa during that England versus South Africa contest. Craig Young posted a meme up on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it. He was more than a touch stressed. He had a bit of Matthew McConaughey on him up on the story.
Who could blame him? It's a new day. And Phil Salt will know that better than most. He's got 4 T20 international centuries to his name. Good news, though, is that he's only got 5 half centuries. So you always get a chance to get him out. Matthew Humphries, a bright young talent for Ireland, the left-arm spinner. He'll take the first over.
When you talk about boom or bust at the top, that was his series. A duck, his home ground there, well, where he was born anywhere in Wales and Cardiff, and then follows it up with that quite sensational 141 not out. I watched every ball of that, and you could not take your eyes off it. England powering up over 300, just the 3rd team in history to do it. Many making comparisons to that Owen Morgan side that made 400 in an ODI for the first time. That was in Trent Bridge against New Zealand. It's a fine side, this English one, but runs on the board are Ireland's currency. They'll start with spin in the shape of Matthew Humphries. He said he's a bright young talent. He's a very bright young man as well.
Yeah, look, he's fearless is the thing about these young cricketers, isn't it? I'm sure he'll have been watching that, itching to get out.
I think maybe half a hand from Paul Stirling, but well, George Dockrell, I am almost certain, has conceded 4 here because he's got both hands on the ball, but that's not where the issue lays. His feet, I believe, are over the rope. We'll have a boundary check upstairs. This has to be a boundary, doesn't it?
Your eyes are better than mine. I couldn't see the feet when he did this. Yeah, brilliant from George Dockrell. Just a tiny touch and saves 2. Excellent work to start things off in the field for Ireland.
Lasered through the offside. This time there's no doubt about it. It will be a boundary. Dockrell did well to save 2, but it's Gareth Delaney in his 100th appearance for Ireland. He couldn't quite get anything on it.
Far too full, and a little bit of width as well. Just out of the reach, straight out of the middle of the bat, and opening boundary for Salt.
Amongst the statistics from that England-South Africa game, the power play was probably the scariest part about it from an Irish perspective.
A little bit of miscommunication. How good would that have been for Ireland if Barry McCarthy had gathered, and Joss Butler just didn't seem to recognise there was a square leg in on the ring.
Long off and deep mid-wicket, the 2 fielders out, one on the offside, one on the leg. Just 2 allowed outside the circle. Like what Humphreys is doing here, just taking his time. Salt says he's not ready yet either. Over 100 they made in 6 overs. It was Butler that was the dominant force against South Africa. Salt is the one who's trying to cash in on that fantastic form that he has. For Ireland, how tall is the task here? Can they defend this total?
Yeah, look, it's really difficult, and I'm sure everyone will be looking at that batting lineup that England have and how long it is, how many power hitters there are. But you take a couple of wickets, you have a couple of quiet overs then. You only need kind of 1 or 2 quiet spells when you're defending just around 200, and then pressure really comes on the batting team. So Ireland need their batting partnerships to come together and maybe try and have a couple of overs together that go for between 10 and 12 if possible. It's very difficult, but if they do that, then you put England under pressure.
Yeah, it's the bowlers that'll be under the microscope in those bowling partnerships as such. Arm ball and cuts away. Butler cashes in short, not that wide, but gets a good piece of it, gets 4. It's 11 for none.
Just a little bit too wide. Butler gets the hands through. Beautifully placed as well. Didn't bother running. Looked like 4 from the moment he bowled it there. Matthew Humphreys, unfortunately. Small margins for error. That's what you have against England.
Bowler who loves the big stage. He'll tell you he's an all-rounder after that 50 against India here at this venue. He loves putting his nation on his broad shoulders and trying to get his side to rally behind him. Can be expensive, but also is very much a wicket taker, and Ireland will need wickets early. That's why Paul Stirling has that slip in place. Talk about the difficulties in the bowling partnerships, the absence of Adair in particular with his phenomenal form in this format, and Josh Little will be keenly felt for Ireland.
Yeah, 2 really different bowlers at the moment. If they were on the field, Mark Adair relies quite a lot on his change-ups. Doesn't mean he doesn't have the swing game, but that's probably where he says his strength lies, whereas Josh Little, he's proper pace, left arm, can swing the ball in, maybe not as adept in that department as maybe Mark Wood that we saw in the first or.
Now, this could have gone straight up, but he's got more than enough of it to go all the way. It's not exactly how Salt intended to make impact. A little slower ball, maybe the leg cutter from McCarthy was picked and pumped down the ground for 6.
A 2 full. It definitely was the cutter. You could see it out of the hand, unfortunately, as well. So he had plenty of time to adjust. Phil Salt, almost like a golf shot. Just a little pitch down the ground. I mentioned Mark Wood, I meant Luke Wood. Of course, the left-arm swing bowler we saw just a little while ago.
I thought you meant Mark Adair. There's too many similar names going around. Driven, there is protection out there. It's a split field, so deep point really on the offside. That's Ross Adair. And deep backward square. Speaking of Mark Adair, I'm wondering how tight-knit the family is. He's here in the stands somewhere, watching on.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have been delighted to see his brother with bat in hand earlier. He's somewhere in there. It's almost like, where's Wally?
really good crowd in for a Wednesday afternoon because it's mid-September. We've had to start at 1:30 p.m. Friday and Sunday both completely sold out, and if you're going to go looking for tickets, you'll be searching in vain. Enjoy the action live with us throughout this series. McCarthy, that kind of hard length, is that where you'd like to see him go?
Yeah, and even that slower delivery, he still needs to bowl maybe just a little bit fuller than that length we've just seen. You mentioned that he counts himself an all-rounder. You weren't here for the interprovincial T20 tournament. We had it across 4 weeks. Quite often Barry McCarthy had to bat for Leinster Lightning, and every single time he did not look very pleased. He did not want to put the pads on. Maybe it's just when he's in Irish colours he's happy to contribute with the willow.
He's made 3 runs in his last 11 games. Now, in fairness, he hasn't batted 9 times, but we'll still get stuck into him for that. He says he hits a bigger ball than anyone in the Irish team. Even Paul Sterling, Harry Tector et al. Width on offer and a drive of the highest quality. A drive that's been hit on the up by Salt. If there's a man in touch, it's the Welshman himself.
Well, you said it, he's in touch. This isn't a power game. This is about placement, and he just waits for it long enough to send it past Paul Sterling, who's in very tight there. You have to get it exactly right to bisect those fielders, and that's exactly what he's done. Right under the eyes, just a tiny bit of width, and that's all he needs.
Goes to the short ball, but too short will be given as a wide. You think about Adair's role, Mark Adair's role, that is, in this Irish side. It's to bowl 2 overs up at the top and then 2 at the death in every T20I. McCarthy's going to have to be the one who'll try and fulfil that role now.
Yeah, and this is him trying to get out of the over. Unfortunately, he's gone too short. Almost tennis ball, that bounce. Phil Salt didn't give it a second thought. So disappointing as a bowler. You've saved that up, that delivery, till the last one to try and get you out of the over, and now he's got to bowl what could be a costly extra delivery.
It will be costly, and it may well nearly cost the maximum. We'll probably have a check here. It's initially indicated as 4 by Kennedy. Might be 28 for none. In a moment it could be 30 for none. Definitely have to have this one checked, I suspect. Paul Sterling comes over for a discussion. It's difficult bowling to players of this quality for a side like Ireland, who hasn't played much cricket this year at all.
Yeah, he'll be hoping this just doesn't hit the Toblerone, but I think from the naked eye it certainly looked like it did. Well, that's you need better eyesight than I have. It's right beside the Toblerone. Has it bounced on the ground? It's literally a centimetre.
Yeah, it's as tight as they come, really, isn't it? And it's the best angle we have. So Johnny Kennedy, who'd initially indicated 4, is now going to fold his arms across his chest and say no. That's gone all the way for 6. It is indeed now 30 for none. Media change in bowling. Graham Hume will come into the attack from the Dublin Road end of the ground. England off to a flying start.
Yes, these two are always sent in to do, particularly Phil Salt, 22 from just 10 deliveries. Graham Hume, the right arm away swing bowler, what can he do?
And he's clobbered down the ground to start with, just one bounce and races to the rope. Ominous signs here for Ireland. Salt and now Butler really warming to the task.
Yeah, free hit. That length at that pace just gets the hands through, and it's an easy boundary for Butler. Fielders deep square and third out. I wonder, can he tighten things up and drop someone straight rather at his pace? Is it necessary to have those 2 fielders out? It's probably a little bit more difficult for these batters to score in those areas. That's exactly what's happening. Third is coming inside the ring, long on out.
You talk about the depth in the Irish seam stocks. They've had that big boost of Craig Young coming back after all those hamstring problems. Butler, well, simply sensational. Plonks it onto the roof of the hospitality tent. Bang, bang, 4-6 from Joss Butler.
A languid strike, this one. Bit of foot movement as well, gets leg side. He knew that with that field, Hume had to bowl straight, gave himself room, and makes full use of that bat. Watch out in the crowd.
You've got to get Lorcan Tucker up to the stumps here at this pace, otherwise Butler is going to make merry here. He'll come at him again and again and again. 4-6, now 4 more.
Like a brilliant adjustment from Butler. It's what he's so good at, is adjusting when he's on the move. It's quite wide. Great core strength shown as well to adjust and hit that through the offside for another boundary.
Now this Irish unit that was watching last week in Manchester, watching every ball, I think every player was looking at their television sets going, oh no, here we are. Misses out this time. That's why I think he's got to get Tucker up to the stumps.
Just 6 stumpings for Lorcan Tucker in T20 International. So that's a combination of, there haven't been that many spinners that have played T20 international cricket for Ireland, but also because he doesn't tend to stand up to the seamers, but here he is. Finally. You've been asking for it, Lenny.
Well, it was slapping you right in the face, wasn't it? Get the helmet, get up to the stumps, and Joss Butler has to retake his guard, retake his approach. And if the field is intending to try and get Butler to hit square, at least he might be able to force him onto the back foot now.
I think if you're Butler, you just keep coming. I don't think he's going to be too worried about the keeper standing up, but we shall see.
Goes deep in the crease and goes over the head of mid-off. Outstanding batting. Batting of the highest quality.
स्वागत है आप सभी लोगों का मेरी लाइव में। और आप सभी लोगों को मैं बता दूं, बड़ा ही शानदार ये मुकाबला चल रहा है। और यदि अभी तक आप सभी लोग हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल से जाकर ज्वाइन नहीं हुए तो फटाफट से हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल को जाकर ज्वाइन कर लीजिए। टेलीग्राम चैनल का लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में और कमेंट बॉक्स में आप सभी लोगों को मिल जाएगा। बहुत से बंदे कमेंट कर रहे हैं कि भाई इस मुकाबले का मैच विनर क्या है और क्यों, कौन सी टीम इस मुकाबले को जीतेगी, या लंबी यस करें या नोट करें सेशन में। तो गाइज आप सभी लोगों को बता दूं, इस मुकाबले की जितने भी अपडेट हैं, मैच विनर रिपोर्ट, सेशन रिपोर्ट, पिच रिपोर्ट और टॉस रिपोर्ट, सारी की सारी आप सभी लोगों को मैं टेलीग्राम चैनल पर प्रोवाइड करवा दूंगा। तो जाइए फटाफट से हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल को ज्वाइन कर लीजिए। लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में और कमेंट बॉक्स में आप सभी लोगों को मिल जाएगा। और साथ के साथ मैं आप लोगों को बता दूं, मैं हर मैच की प्लेयर और फ्लॉप प्लेयर आप सभी लोगों को बता देता हूं, ताकि आप सभी लोगों को फैंटेसी रिलेटेड भी हेल्प हो जाए और विकेट नोट भी आप सभी लोग उनसे खेल सके। और इस मुकाबले के जो अभी 2 खिलाड़ी खेल रहे हैं उनके बारे में भी मैंने अभी बता दिया, उनकी विकेट नोट भी आप लोगों को मैंने टेलीग्राम चैनल पर प्रोवाइड करवा दिया। तो जाकर देखिए फटाफट से, टेलीग्राम चैनल का लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन और कमेंट बॉक्स में मिल जाएगा। और जितने भी बंदे यहाँ पर लॉस में और हार कर परेशान है, अपना सारा लॉस कवर करना चाहते हैं,